because of Montreal Protocol, because of Montreal Protocol, ozone layer which was damaged significantly is recovering and is recovering fast and is recovering fast. And some of the enthusiasts, environmental enthusiasts, they went to the extent that if this is the way world will respond to Montreal Protocol, then very soon we are going to repair the damage to ozone layer completely. But now one report has come in the 2018, okay, released recently. That is what is, I would say, a setback to such, right, setback to such environmental enthusiasts. Okay. So, a report, Rohini is asking, can you repeat once more? Means it's very difficult for me to repeat because I don't remember what I said, means I will just say. So, what was there, that this Montreal Protocol is considered a successful environmental related treaty. Why it is considered successful? Because, because of this treaty, for sure we are able to repair the damage caused to ozone layer, and the severe damage which we have caused to ozone layer is being repaired in the form of what? We are recovering the ozone layer. So, some of the enthusiasts, they even said that maybe by another 20 years, all thinning which has happened to ozone layer, all hole in the ozone will be filled and ozone layer will be fully recovered. But such enthusiasts got a setback with recent report. So, what you should remember, a UN study, and this study was done, this study was done in year 2018 with the title scientific, this was done with the title scientific assessment of ozone depletion, 2018, and this study, right, has shown, this study has shown that ozone layer is recovering, ozone layer is recovering, and this recovery is slow, recovering only at a rate of 1 to 3%, only at a rate of 1 to 3%. Earlier we were having this perception that it's recovering and it's recovering very fast, but if you ask me as a student of environmental science, I am happy that had this protocol, Montreal Protocol, not been there, we may not have been recovering ozone layer. Yeah, but it's true that the recovery is with a slow rate. Earlier we were under impression, right? Earlier we were under impression that it's recovering fast. Okay. So that's there. Meenakshi is asking when India signed Vienna Convention. India signed Vienna Convention in June 1991, 19th June 1990. Not important. Okay, itna fact बहुत मुश्किल होगा, but you should remember India is also a party to Vienna Convention, but Vienna Convention is not important. Montreal Protocol is very important. Okay, India, signed and ratified this protocol in September 1992 when it comes to Montreal Protocol. And I would like you to, this Montreal Protocol is considered a dynamic environmental treaty. Okay, so just write down, it's a dynamic environmental treaty as well. You know why it's called dynamic environmental treaty? It's called dynamic environmental treaty because when this treaty was signed, our knowledge was very limited related with ozone depleting substances. That was a new subject at that time for research and study. And later on we have intensified the research. Later on we intensified the research. And now we have great understanding. We have great understanding. So why it's dynamic? Whenever we learnt as a world together about new ozone depleting substance, we included that substance in the list of ozone depleting substance under the protocol. And this is why it is known as, a dynamic environmental treaty. Have you understood? So just write down that this Montreal Protocol is a dynamic treaty as it has undergone several amendments, Whenever the world learnt about any new ozone depleting substance, that was included as ODS under Montreal Protocol through amendment. Under Montreal Protocol through amendment. Okay. So the first amendment in the protocol was in the year 1990 itself, and this amendment is known as, और ये याद नहीं रखना है because now you only have to remember about Kigali, but just for your completion of the story. First amendment was in 1990 and this became famous in the name of London Amendment. Second amendment was a year later in 1991 and this is known as Nairobi Amendment. Third amendment was in 1992 and it became famous in the name of Copenhagen Amendment. Fourth was in 1993 and this became famous in the name of Bangkok Amendment. Then in 1995, and this was the 10th year of Vienna Convention. So this was held at Vienna only. So Vienna Amendment to Montreal Protocol. Then in 1997, okay, 1997. So in 93 onwards, it was decided that rather than annually meeting, biennial, meaning once in 2 years the meeting will be there. So 1997, when the parties met at Montreal again, 10th year of Montreal Protocol. So they also amended the protocol with including new ozone depleting substance. So, this is Montreal Amendment. Then 1999, again some amendment, this time the meeting was at Beijing. Beijing Amendment, and so on and so forth, right, so on and so forth. But in this series, I just want to talk, right, I just want to talk about, the recent most, Kigali Agreement, okay, Kigali Agreement. Why Kigali Agreement? Very, very important, because, right, because now our knowledge about ozone depleting substance has gone many fold high. It's at a new level. A lot of research has taken place, right? A lot of research has taken place. So, our understanding is, very different. And not only that, right? Not only that, I would also like you to remember, right? I would also like you to remember that we have also realized one fact. And what is the new fact we have realized? That most of these ozone depleting substances are greenhouse gases as well. And when I was talking about greenhouse gases, I told you that as far as chlorofluorocarbon is concerned, as far as hydrochlorofluorocarbons is concerned, as far as, these halones are concerned, they are greenhouse gas. Their overall contribution in warming is less, but the potential is 1000 times higher than carbon dioxide. If you see your notes, we have done exclusive discussion on that. So, minor increase in their concentration in Earth's atmosphere can damage in two ways. One, will cause warming, and second, will cause damage to ozone layer, and then easily ultraviolet rays can penetrate and reach to Earth's surface. So, when we realized that these are the things which are happening, then we thought that we will fight it differently, and this is how, this is how when 28th MOP, meeting of parties, 28th MOP, right, meeting of parties was held, right, was held under this Montreal Protocol. So, meeting of parties, Montreal Protocol, okay. And this 28th meeting of parties was held at, was held at Kigali. It was held at Kigali. It was held at Kigali. And this Kigali is in which country? It is in Rwanda, okay. It is in Rwanda, okay. So, when it was held at Kigali, it was held at Kigali, then, parties, all 197 parties signed an agreement, new agreement, basically to amend Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol. And for many years, there used to be some gridlock among parties, because of which nothing much was happening. But during 28th MOP, all parties agreed that there is an immediate and urgent need to amend Montreal Protocol, and this will help us not only fight ozone depletion as an environmental problem, but also global warming and climate change. And this amendment to Montreal Protocol during 28th meeting of parties at Kigali became famous, right, became famous in the name of, right, in the name of this Kigali Agreement. And this 28th MOP, meeting of party under Montreal Protocol, was in which year? 2016 it was, right? It was held in 2016 when this Kigali Agreement was signed, when this Kigali Agreement was signed. Kigali is the capital of Rwanda, right? Kigali is the, capital of Rwanda. And what was said? What was said? That what we will do in the name of protecting the ozonosphere of Earth, which is embedded in Earth's stratosphere, this will help us even to combat global warming and climate change environmental problem. So, within Kigali Agreement, right, within Kigali Agreement, there is a explicit mention that if we are eliminating, elimination of HFCs, hydrofluorocarbons, could reduce global warming, by 0.5 degrees Celsius by 2100. Only if we are able to eliminate the release of hydrofluorocarbons in Earth's atmosphere, it will not only help in repairing the damage caused to ozonosphere, but it will also help us combat global warming, and we will be able to, reduce the warming by 0.5 degrees Celsius by the end of this century, right. This finds explicit mention, within Kigali Agreement, right, within Kigali Agreement. This Kigali Agreement, which is of 2016, right, it came into enforcement, right, it came into enforcement on 1st January 2019, 1st January 2019 it came into enforcement. And I told you that recently, right, recently this is in news. Why? Because in August, you can write it down, in August, in August 2021, the Union Cabinet approved the ratification of Kigali Agreement, Union Cabinet approved the ratification of Kigali Agreement by India, And let me tell you that actually this Kigali Agreement, actually this Kigali Agreement is talking about phased down HFCs. So, it is basically aimed at to phase down or phase out, whatever word you may say. Phase down word we will write, phase down HFCs HFCs by reducing its manufacture, and if we are not manufacturing, automatically its consumption will come down, and if we will not at all manufacture HFCs, hydrofluorocarbons, then 0.5 degree global warming we can reduce by the end of 21st century, Okay. And one thing, right, what you need to know, that see, when it comes to Kigali Agreement, why this agreement was required? Because what we were finding, that when the world learnt, about different ozone depleting substance, right, then what we saw, that gradually we started, replacing CFCs, chlorofluorocarbon, HCFCs, right, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, methyl bromide were getting replaced by, HFCs, hydrofluorocarbons. So we were under, impression that HFC कम बदमाश है, सो कम बदमाश को से हम ज्यादा बदमाश को रिप्लेस करने लगे, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस व्हाट हैपेंड, दैट सडन इंक्रीज वाज देयर in the release of HFC, which is both. So this Kigali agreement is basically a fight against HFC, because what we saw, that in the last 2 decades HFCs are replacing CFCs, HCFCs, methyl bromide, methyl chloroform, and that is how its release has increased. So now we have, we have committed that we will, we will eliminate HFC, and when we will eliminate HFC, what we will do? We will be, protecting ozonosphere, and not only it will help us protecting ozonosphere, but it will also help us in reducing the global warming. Mano Sekhri is asking the question, sir, is Kigali agreement under Montreal Protocol only or a new agreement? Kigali agreement is an amendment to Montreal Protocol, and now it is in the form of a new agreement which relates with HFC, okay, but it has been signed by all parties to Montreal Protocol, all 197 parties to Montreal Protocol. When they sat to discuss about ozone depletion, they landed up, they agreed that we will sign a new agreement and we will eliminate the release of HFCs, and this will help us not only to combat the global environmental problem in the form of ozone depletion, but also it will help us to fight global warming as an environmental problem. So this is what you should know. Okay, so it talks about, phase down HFCs by reducing the manufacturing, and finally not manufacturing at all. And if we are reducing the manufacturing, definitely it will lead to, reduction in consumption of HFCs. And what was the tendency? There was a growing tendency in the world for, HFCs being used to replace CFCs, HCFCs, methyl bromide, and that is how there was sudden increase in the release of HFCs, okay, HFCs. So this is there, but this agreement, so Kigali agreement is a potent treaty now, not only for, fighting global environmental problem in the form of ozone depletion, but even, fighting against global warming. Okay. Now, let me tell you, if you see this Kigali agreement, and I will be telling you everything which is in Kigali agreement, but I want you to remember only few things, right? I want you to remember few things. You know, as far as this Kigali agreement is concerned, of 2016, which came into enforcement from 2019 onwards, right, 19 onwards. Okay. And I would just like you to have this awareness. See, when it comes to, now you need to understand this. It relates with HFCs. Technically what you need to understand, it relates with HFC, hydrofluorocarbons. And what we saw, you know, what we saw, now this is what you need to understand. This is why some students are confused related with Kigali. So what happened, ये देखो, when we have talked about ozone depleting substance, ODS में हमने किसको रखा है? CFC. ओके, ODS में हमने किसको रखा है? HCFCs. ODS में हमने किसको रखा है? हेलोन्स. ODS में हमने किसको रखा है? मिथाइल ब्रोमाइड. ODS में हमने किसको रखा है? You know, carbon tetrachloride. But HFC is not a ODS. It is not causing, right? It's not causing severe damage to ozone layer. It's not a ODS. HFC is not a ODS. So what was happening because of Montreal Protocol, that we started replacing, right? We started replacing CFCs with HFCs. We started replacing HCFCs with HFC. Then we found that HFC is a super greenhouse gas. Super greenhouse gas it is. So definitely when we are replacing these, you know, CFC and HCFCs with HFCs, we are able to fight, right? We are able to fight ozone depletion, but in the process we are causing damage to environment because of global warming. Okay. So we thought that let's amend the Montreal Protocol and let's bring a halt to this trend which is there, that, you know, this HFC will replace ODS. Let's think of, you know, better way to phase out the release of ODS. So this is what is not understood by many students related with Kigali agreement. So Kigali agreement का एक feature जरूर याद रखना. What? That HFCs do not cause ozone layer depletion. Ozone layer depletion, but they are super greenhouse gas. Super greenhouse gas. Meaning what? The potential is very, very high. This will be asked in the prelims exam. It do not cause ozone layer depletion, but they are super greenhouse gas. And when we saw in the name of phasing out the release of ODS, when too much was the use of HFC, then we realized that within Kigali agreement itself, within Montreal Protocol itself, let's target phasing down the manufacturing and consumption of HFCs. Have you understood, all of you? Tell me yes or no. All of you need to tell me yes or no. Okay, all of you, please give me the clearance about Kigali. So, Kigali will help us mitigate the ill impact of climate change. Kigali will help us, to strive and to reduce gradually the production and usage of HFCs. Please respond. Pragati Negi said yes. Okay, what about others? Please respond. Yes, others? All those who are attending the session live, Namrata said yes, Ben Johnson said yes, others, Subranil said yes, others, everybody has to respond, then only I will move forward. I am expecting a question, technical question on Kigali Agreement. So, HFC do not cause ozone layer depletion, but they are super greenhouse gas. Maria said yes, others, Meenakshi also said yes. All those who are attending class, please respond. I don't know, Akhila said yes, Ridhima said yes, now I am flooded, Vidisha said yes, so now I am flooded with the response. Okay. So, first thing, this is what you need to understand. Second thing, it is a legally binding agreement between signatories. So, it is a legally binding agreement, legally binding agreement. Okay. And it is legally binding for whom? Signatories. Okay. And what you need to know, third important thing about, third important thing about Kigali Agreement, okay, that this Kigali Agreement sets, this is where India was successful in bargaining hard, sets different targets, for countries, and these targets are dependent on the state of development, the socio-economic constraints, the technology and scientific capabilities of the country. Okay. So, Kigali Agreement, different targets for different countries. And why different target for different country? Because, because it is governed by this principle of common but differentiated responsibilities, and capabilities. Okay, capabilities, differential, So, different countries have different, capabilities, but they have common, they all have responsibility, common responsibility, but we expect them to contribute based on their capabilities. So, common is that everybody will have to contribute, but how much should be the contribution is based on capabilities, and this is the reason why for different country different target is there, but it is a legally binding agreement, it is a legally binding agreement. Okay. And basically, you know, this agreement, basically this agreement has classified signatory parties in 3 groups. Classifies the signatories, classifies the signatory parties in 3 groups. Three groups. Okay. Now let me just tell you that which are these group, which are these group. So I will be using, you know, I will be using the word, okay, for group, and I will tell you what you have to remember and what you can and what you must forget, right? What you must forget. Okay. So that is there. So I will say, let us say category 1 category 1 countries, or group A, group 1, then is category 2, okay, then is category 2, and then is category 3, okay, then is category 3, okay. And when it comes to category 1, right, when it comes to category 1, I would just like you to remember this. This first group, let us say first group, this first group, and this consists of USA, United States of America, this consists of European Union, okay, this consists of European Union and others, okay, others. This category 2, so developed countries, developed, this group is of developed countries, okay. And category 2, if you see, this is the second group, second group, and this consists of, right, this consists of developing countries, developing countries, okay. But developing countries, you know, where development started early, right, where development started early, and in this group you will find China, even you will find Brazil, okay, you will find Brazil, you will find South Africa, but we are not there. All of them were trying us to put in category 2, but we were able to convince that we should not be put in category 2, we should be put in category 3. So this is the third group, and this is again developing countries, but development has started, picked up late. So in this group we have India, okay, we have India, we have Pakistan, we have Iran, and so on and so forth, Saudi Arabia, etc. Third group. Okay. So, category 1, category 2, category 3. Now, okay. Now, let me just put it like this, right? Let me just put it like this, that under this, and what all you can forget from this. Now, in this, there is baseline. First, you should remember there is different baseline as far as reduction is concerned, baseline. So, baseline for category 1 will be based on 2011-13. Meaning what? You need to understand this. Okay. So, this is what? Let me put it like this, category 1, this is category 2, this is category 3, and I told you that this is first group, this is second group, this is third group. But when I said first group, US, European Union, and in this developed countries are there. In second group, developing countries, but countries like China, Brazil, South Africa. Okay. And category 3 again developing countries, but countries like India, Pakistan, Iran, Iran. Now, what I said that baseline. Okay. So, baseline is different for different group. So, baseline for category 1. Okay. So, they have to reduce HFC consumption and release in comparison to this year 2011-13, whatever they were releasing in 2011-13. So, base year baseline is 2011-13 for first group, but the baseline for category 2 is 2020-22, 2-year period, in which whatever HFC they have released, in comparison to that they have to reduce. And for group 3 baseline is what we will be releasing in 2024 to 26. So, there is a different baseline year, okay, different baseline year. Then there is a different freezing year. ये आप समझो freezing, freezing मतलब 2019 में इनका पीक था, फ्रीज हो गया, इसके ज्यादा नहीं कर सकते हैं, मीन्स वॉट एवर पीक वॉज अचीव्ड इन 2019, नाउ फ्रॉम देयर दे हैव टू रिड्यूस. Okay, so freezing year for category 1 is 2019, which is already over. Freezing year for category 2 is 2024, and freezing year is 2028. So, 28 onwards we will have to reduce, okay, and reduction will be measured in comparison with 2024-26 level. Okay, for category 2 reduction will start from 2024, okay, and it will be measured on the basis of what it was in 2022. And for group A 2019, 2011, 13 is the baseline year. This you should remember. But what I am going to tell you, these 4 you have every right to forget, but for completion, first reduction, then second reduction, then third reduction, okay, then fourth reduction, okay, fourth reduction, and after reduction plateau, flattening will take place. ये आपको याद रखना है, plateau वाला target क्या है. Okay, this is what, this is what, okay, so plateau. So, first reduction, second reduction, third reduction. Now, 10% reduction, okay, 10% reduction by, first reduction target क्या है, 10% reduction by 2019. Okay. Then second reduction for group A, 40% reduction. This you can forget, only understanding के लिए, by 2024. Third reduction, 70% reduction by 2029. Fourth is 80% reduction, 80% reduction by 2034. Okay. And and 85% reduction के साथ 2036 में, right, 2036 में they have to attain the plateau, right, they have to attain the plateau. Have you understood this? Okay, have you understood this? This is for category 1. Are you getting it? Again you try to understand, all of you. So, Mano Sekhri is asking what is the meaning of baseline. Baseline means what? What they were emitting, what they were releasing in this period, 11-13, 2-year period, whatever they were releasing, with the 10% reduction will be in comparison with what? This base year, 11-13. Whatever annually they were releasing in this period, 2011 to 13, in that comparison, 10% lower than this they have to, achieve in this. So, this is what is, the meaning of baseline. Comparison will be done and they have to, right, they have to attain freezing. So, you see 2011-13 के respect में they have to reduce, and then 2011-13 के बाद there can be increase in their release only up till 2019, because 2019 is the year of freezing. Okay, that is where whatever till that year they have released, that would be the peak of the release, and then after reduction will start, but reduction will be in comparison with base year. So, if they are increasing more between baseline and freezing year, then it will be very difficult for them to achieve the reduction targets which they have. Okay, this is where the challenge will be for them. This is the reason why between baseline and between freezing year, they will always try to not allow increase more, and if they will not allow the increase more, then only they will be able to achieve the reduction targets. Have you understood now? All of you, please tell me, because this is very important. Okay. For category 2, right, for category 2, again there is a very different 10% reduction, right, for category 2, 10% reduction by 10% reduction by 2029. Okay. Then 30% reduction by 2035. Then 50% reduction, 50% reduction by 2050, and there is no fourth reduction target for them, then directly they have to reach the plateau, and for them, right, and for them the plateau will be 85% reduction, and this 85% reduction by 2047. Sorry, for them, right, for them the plateau is 80% reduction, 80% reduction by 2045. This is for category 2. This is for category 2. Okay. This is for category 2. Then for category 3, right, then for category 3, the first reduction is, right, category 3, first reduction is, जो इंडिया के लिए है, 10% by 2032. 10% by 2032. Okay. Then 20% by 2037. Then 30% by 2042, and there is no fourth reduction target. Then ultimately they have to reach, right, they have to reach the plateau, and for them the plateau is again 85% by 2047. 85% by 2047. So I just want you all to remember, this baseline for different category. I want you all to have awareness about freezing year for the 3 category, and I want you all to remember, the plateau. So plateau, okay, target reduction if you don't know, चलेगा, but एक understanding होना चाहिए. Stiff target reduction, for category 1, and liberal target reduction, right? Liberal target reduction for category 3. Liberal target reduction for category 3 or the group in which India is. Okay. Gaurav is asking if the baseline is 24-26, then how peak point? Come on, yaar. Okay, it seems, right, it seems that you are from humanities background. For Gaurav Gupta, right, baseline means what? Any reduction target will be in comparison to baseline. Okay, so let me give you an example, Gaurav. Let me give you an example, Gaurav. For India, whatever we will be releasing, in this period, 24 to 26, so total amount, total release in 2-year period will be divided by 2. That will give us the average release, okay, and 10% less than what we were releasing in this period, that we have to achieve by 2032. Okay, that we have to achieve by 2032. Meaning what? Right? The meaning is that even after this baseline year, India and all the member country can continue increasing the release of HFCs. But after freezing year, they will have to enter into a zone or phase where there will be target reduction for them. So for India, target reduction starts in the year 2032 and will continue till 2047 when India has to achieve the plateau, right? India has to achieve the plateau. So whatever India will be releasing in 2024-26, okay, average of that, 10%, average of that 10%. Is this clear? So this is, right, this is what you need to remember. So 10% by 2032 for India, 20% reduction by 2037, 30% reduction by 2042, and then finally 85%, by 2047, but that would be the plateau. So this is what is Kigali Agreement, and this Kigali Agreement is important, right? This Kigali Agreement is important because, right, because India ratified, Union Cabinet this year has decided that we will ratify this, okay, we will ratify this. Palmi is asking for second category, how can third reduction, be 50% by 20, 50 and rich, rich, what you are saying? For 50%, yes, I am sorry, good question. This for category 2, this 50% is by 2045, no, 2040, this is by 2040. You can compare on your own, ये देखो 70% by 2029, 50% by 2040 for category 2 and then 30% by 2042. So, thank you Pame for bringing this error which was there while writing. I might have written, okay, so that is there. Third reduction in category 2 is confusing, yes, very correctly, Pame and even Anish Sheikh has pointed out, okay, so while writing. Now this is, you once see the reduction target, okay, and then you can understand the, so 10% by 2090, category 1, 40% by 2024, okay, 70% by 2029, 80% by 2034 and finally the plateau, with 85% reduction, correct. Now category 2, 10% by 2029, 30% by 2035, 50% by 2040 and then plateau is of 80% reduction by 2045, correct. Okay. Then category 3, 10% by 2032, 20% by 37, then 30% by 2042 and finally the plateau with 85% which will be by 2047. Okay. So, this is what is the Kigali Agreement. Okay. I hope everything you have understood related with Kigali Agreement. Okay. Everything you have understood related with Kigali Agreement. Okay. Now, Kigali Agreement and India, right? Kigali Agreement and India. So, what we have to do? इंडिया के लिए रिडक्शन कब से शुरू करना है? 2028. Okay, reduction will start from 2028, but we have to reduce, right? We have to reduce 10% of our baseline, by 2032. Okay. 20% of our baseline by 2037, 30% by 2042 and finally 85%. Okay, finally 85%. Okay, now where is the problem? हमारे लिए problem होगा finance. Okay, finance. अभी हमें क्या करना होगा? What India will have to do? India will have to accelerate the pace of research and development. If not HFCs to replace other ODS, then what should they be replaced with? Because we have to replace CFCs, we have to replace, and I hope you must be knowing that these ODS primarily are getting released into Earth's atmosphere from where all? When we are using, spray paints, when we are using, body spray and deodorants, when air conditioner, refrigerator, foam packing, okay, and these are very, very important. Why these are very important? Because you know that refrigeration, air conditioning, अभी इंडिया में अर्बन सेंटर्स में एयर कंडीशनर यूज हो रहा है, एयर कंडीशन बस, एयर कंडीशन व्हीकल, एयर कंडीशन ऑफिस, सेंट्रलाइज्ड एयर कंडीशन मॉल्स. But now we will have to replace CFCs, HCFCs with some other substance, not HFC. For time being we can, because by 2028, we have with us 7 more years. Even in this period, if there is increase in what we are releasing, HFC, then no issue, but we have to now accelerate the pace of research, find a viable alternative to HFCs, which can replace ODS. So for that we have got, time, but we will have to spend a lot. And once we get the technological breakthrough, then entire system जो है country में air conditioners का, refrigeration का, वहाँ पे technological upgradation करना होगा. So that's going to be a challenge. So in India we will have to identify, the potential companies which can participate in research and development, can get technological breakthrough, and we will be asking the world also to support us. We will be asking them to transfer the technology, and they should not ask for patent cost, because if they will ask for patent cost, then the cost will be very high for us, and we cannot slow down the process of this ongoing use of air conditioner. Middle class have started using air conditioners, lower middle class and poor people have started using refrigerators, with which their quality of life has gone high. But there are many to whom we have to provide refrigerators and air conditioners in days to come, but we want to gift them air conditioners and refrigerators based on new technology in which we are able to replace ODS with some better substance. Have you understood Kigali Agreement? Have you understood everything related with ozone, good ozone, bad ozone? Where is India? We had to bargain very hard at Kigali because China in particular was in favor of India being put in the category where China is. But we told the world that if you see per capita HFC released by India, it is one of the least in the world today, and therefore we cannot be kept in category 2. And we were able to convince the world it will be a gross injustice if this thing is seen from per capita point of view. So I hope everything you have understood related to ozone. So with this, I will end the session for the day, and then next week I will talk about